going to talk about Team USA here. Things are starting to ramp up for them. Had about a week of training camp. Maybe it was only 4 days, if I heard correctly. Play Team Canada started off a little slow, but they picked it up by the end of the game. They ended up looking really good by the end of the game. Um, Team USA obviously is favorites heading in with this roster that they have. But as we've seen in the past, they're not so guaranteed to win it all every single season, even if it looks like they have the best players. So today, me and Roland wanted to talk about a little bit who might be the biggest threats for Team USA. We already saw them play Canada, but there's still some other good teams out there. What are your thoughts on this, Roland?
The only way Team USA does not win the gold is if health gets in the way. Okay. I know that the pool is more talented than ever. France is running a pick and roll with two centers. You know what I mean? They have the bigs to compete. Canada has a backcourt to compete with the Team USA's backcourt. Serbia has the best player in the world. You know what I mean? Greece, Giannis, all of these teams have a lot more continuity as well. They've played together for multiple summers, and this is the first time this Team USA iteration has played together. I'm just going to list off our 10-man rotation, okay?
Okay.
Stephen Curry, Anthony Edwards, Kevin Durant, hopefully if he's healthy, right? LeBron James, Joel Embiid. That's our starting five. Let's imagine none of those guys were playing for Team USA. Our next five is better than anyone else's starting five. You've got Tyrese Halliburton, Devin Booker, Jason Tatum, Bam Adebayo, and Anthony Davis. There is just too much for this team. Now, it might just take one bad shooting night and they could get got. That's the beauty of this whole Olympic thing. Once we're in the elimination stages, it is March Madness. You know what I mean? But I'm sorry to every other team in the world. It's not going to be fun. I don't expect a game to be within 10 points. This might be the most talented team we've ever sent out. Yes, I know the Dream Team. This is definitely the most talented team since the Dream Team. I don't think 2008 touches this. It's crazy the amount. We have assembled the Avengers to go out and redeem ourselves for what the crap happened last year.
Yeah, and you touched on the biggest advantage Team USA has is their second unit is still full of NBA stars. Just imagine for a second that you're from Puerto Rico and you make your Puerto Rican national team and you guys go in and you win your qualifying tournament, but you're let's just say you're the backup point guard on that team, right? You're just happy to be there. You're an Olympian. You're excited. You play in some, little league in Central America, pro basketball player, make a nice living. When you come to the second unit against Team USA, you have to play against Tyrese Halliburton. Anthony Edwards came off the bench in that first game. Like you said, everyone you mentioned, you come in and then you have to go against, go guard Anthony Edwards. And this guy's an NBA superstar coming off the bench for Team USA. Like, it's just crazy the second unit they can throw out there. So there are good teams out here. Serbia's a threat because they have Jokic with other NBA players, but one star NBA player, two rotation NBA guys, and two bench guys make up that starting five. Still not the same kind of talent level. France has to be a threat, mostly because their defense. If Team USA doesn't shoot good, that could be a tough game for them because it's going to be hard to score on the rim against Gobert and Wemby. But as you mentioned, I mean, after I watched this Canada game, I really just believed in Team USA because I saw them make mistakes out there and they still won by double digits.
They played terrible.
And they were still just that much better than Canada.
Team Canada, I know, was ranked 7th going into this based off of the seeding that they had and the pool that they were put into. A lot of people argue they're the second best team in the world right now. Germany has some say about that. France, of course, has some say about that. But Team USA We, USA, beat the second, maybe third best team in the entire world by double digits, and we had an F- offensive performance.
They
We
had practiced.
sucked.
They practiced 4 days together before that game.
It was terrible. You could tell they turned the ball over 8 times in the first quarter.
Yeah, yeah.
The bright side is our defense came to play,
Mm-hmm.
but offensively we sucked, and we
Well,
still won by multiple,
oh yeah.
by double digits. Man, this is not going to be fun. As soon as Team USA hits their stride, everyone else is going to be like, "What do we got ourselves into, dude?" It's going to be insane.
Mm-hmm. And there are a couple things I really like about this team that I kind of want to go through real quick. I love that they have Bam Adebayo and Anthony Davis playing center. I don't think they've ever had both of them at the same time. But I mean, at least against Team Canada, they just dominated them inside. And USA made a big point. They also have Joel Embiid on the roster. He had a terrible game. But we'll talk about that in a sec. Just hold off on that for a sec. But they didn't want to get dominated inside, and they didn't want to get dominated on the glass like they had in the past. And even though Steve Kerr still wants to run kind of weird lineups, I mean, he started 3 guards against Canada, and that's just who he is, and it's what he's going to do. He still has all these guys he has to play who are big, so he doesn't really have a choice. I also love that Tyrese Halliburton is on this team. I know you can argue Jalen Brunson is a better player than him. I know he probably is a better player than Tyrese, but I think Tyrese just fits this team so much better than Jalen Brunson would have. He's a bigger
Oh, I
player.
agree with that.
He had a fantastic defensive game. He got the ball and he pushed in transition. He was a fantastic passer. He was just setting guys up left and right. I think he's going to be a star in this tournament, and he's going to have one of the more underrated tournaments because he's not going to score, but he's going to do everything else.
He didn't need to. He's this team's Jason Kidd. He gets everyone the ball where they need it and when they need it. Let's say that we said screw defense and we put Tyrese Halliburton with Stephen Curry at our 2. How many threes does Steph make? You know what I mean? It's one of those things where we can beat you with our guard play. We can bully you down low. And then our wings are the best in the world. That's what sets us apart. There is nobody on the planet that has the wing depth that we do. Kevin Durant's injured. That's okay. Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum's not playing well. We have LeBron freaking James. Okay. It's ridiculous what we can do. And that's why the only team that can beat us is the injury bug or maybe just an off shooting night. We're the only team that could beat us. Mm-hmm. We can beat ourselves, and it's kind of always been that way, to be honest. Mm-hmm. Sorry to kind of poo-poo on everybody else in the world, but we haven't sent our best squad since 2012. This is our best squad. Let's go see what you can do with it. So
exactly. And just quick little side note before I ask you our last question. If the NBA All-Star game was played this hard, that would be amazing. Because that was an exhibition game they played against Canada, and I thought both teams played really hard when a game that didn't theoretically count in the standings.
More bragging rights.
Yeah, so that would be pretty cool. But my question to you is, after we watched Joel Embiid playing this game, it was very clear he wanted to play by the NBA rules and not the FIBA rules. And the FIBA refs are saying, we don't care if you actually get fouled. If you foul bait, we're not calling it, even if you get hit. So just don't do it. Do you think, because he's definitely going to have to change up his style of play, how he plays this game, because he's not going to be able to keep doing this throughout the games as we've seen, unless, the refs all of a sudden change their mind, which I don't think will happen. Do you think Joel Embiid would be better or worse if he didn't play in the NBA and he had to play? Let's say he plays in the ACDC, the best European league, the second best league in the world outside of the NBA. Do you think he's better or worse?
I think he's not as good. He does have a lot of the James Harden-esque, I play the rules to his game. That's why he's able to score so much. And to his credit, not a lot of big guys can shoot free throws as well as he can.
Mm-hmm.
So, get into the free throw line. I don't think he has enough kind of team-esque basketball. Like in Europe, if you're averaging 20, it's like the equivalent of averaging 30
Yeah.
in the NBA. Just because you don't get as many shots up, it's a lot more ball movement. Defensive rules are different. Spacing's not as good either because you don't have as good shooters. The 3-point line's a little closer. So I don't think he'd play as well in that league. Don't think it ultimately matters, right? Because the league that matters is the NBA. But our best lineup might not even include Joel Embiid, which is crazy. I think Anthony Davis is probably going to close for us in most games.
Mm-hmm. Well, and that's the reason why I ask this, because Joel Embiid's great. He's super talented. We know that. We know what he was before he was a foul baiter, because he wasn't always like this. But the thing is, the way he tried to foul bait in that game, and everyone knew that this wasn't working pretty early, I think, and he kept trying to do it. Like, I just wonder if he even should be, if the US really even should have asked him to play. Like, I know the idea is nice, the talent's nice, the size is nice, but maybe he should be their third center, because I thought Bam and Anthony Davis played, A, they played better, and B, they just fit better with everyone else. When Embiid was on the court, USA was giving him the ball, and he was just them by doing his stupid stuff. And he's gonna have to change going ahead in this tournament, or I think they're gonna have to throw him on the bench and throw out Anthony Davis and give Bam more minutes, just because honestly, like, if there was a way Team USA is gonna lose, it's because they try too hard to involve Joel Embiid, and he keeps playing like this and fouls out in 13 minutes and doesn't do anything on offense because he's just drawing fouls.
Yeah. I don't hate that he's there. I mean, it's just get literally the 12 best players. Yeah. Maybe. I mean, there's some discussion we could have with the Derek White acquisition instead of Jaylen Brown or Donovan Mitchell. Yeah. Right. Whatever. I didn't really read too much into that because neither of those dudes is going to get much playing time if Durant's healthy. So.
And Derek White, in a way, is kind of like what we talked about Tyrese Halliburton. Like, sure, maybe you could have found someone better, but he's going to fit with all the guys you already have. And he won't be mad if he doesn't play. He won't be mad if he doesn't get shots. He's just going to play his role, play defense, and kind of, be happy with it. So